I've always wanted to be a few inches taller. I'm gonna stand on it. It's nice up here. It's a little chillier, but good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to see you. I know it's a bit chilly, so I will be as brief as possible. But I want to start by taking you back to the 1970s. If you drove along Highland Boulevard in the Dongan Hills section and you went past St. Dorothy's, there was this, hard to believe, shaggy-haired young man who was running around every aspect of that schoolyard with his friends. They played kickball, they played Nerf football, they played softball. That young man remembers every touchdown pass he caught. He particularly remembers every touchdown pass he dropped. He remembers every scuffle he had with his friends. He remembers Anthony DeMonico. He remembers Willie Esposito, James Riley, Charles Anderson, Billy Brown. Obviously, hard to believe with the 6 strands of hair I have on my head today that I was that little Bobby Sherman hairdo young man. This is a $1.1 million project. It's a lot of money. We could discuss and debate why it cost that much. But I tell taxpayers, I tell Staten Islanders all the time, you're not just buying new asphalt, new play equipment, a new basketball court. You are buying free play. You are buying the opportunity for these young girls and young boys to play unsupervised to an extent, to play games that they create, to make up rules that they think are fitting, to have little arguments, to have little disputes, to work out those arguments. They're learning independence, they're learning self-regulation, they're making friendships that in some instances will last for a lifetime. I think that's money well spent. We have 4 of these projects that happen to be starting PS 57, PS 78, PS 37, and here at PS 45. We chose PS 45 to announce this series of projects, I think for obvious reasons, because 2 heroes that we lost on 9/11 lived in this community and spent time on this playground. And for Captain Fisher and Firefighter Fiore, we always want to recognize them and tell their story. I will tell you that I mentioned at the 20th anniversary, I mentioned at a postcard ceremony, that all these years later, 2 decades later, so many street namings later, so many memorials and masses in those first 2 years later, even the folks we didn't know, we've come to know to some degree. We have come to know their stories. The faces have grown familiar of those that we lost and their loved ones. And I happen to be the only elected official in office today on Staten Island who was in office back then, although ironically my successor at Borough Hall, Vito Fusello, was in office back then. But it's our obligation to fulfill those words about never forgetting. And we are honored today to be part of a process that restores this wonderful playground in their honor. I want to thank our friends at SCA, Steve and the team. Thank you so much. I want to thank Marie Carmody LaFrancesca on our team at Borough Hall, who has done this so well for so long. She has asked me specifically to thank Lisa Joseph, the school secretary, for all, where's Lisa? For all of your help, not only with today in this event, but when we fought so hard to get the new sign up honoring our two heroes. Lastly, I want to say this. When you add this project to the rest of the capital projects that we have allocated during our time at Borough Hall and then the 15 years in the council before, it comes out to an amazing number. It comes out to around $182 million. $182 million in specific capital projects, in schools and outside of schools. These are projects that our principals told us what they needed. It's a shocking number. It's an amazing number. But it speaks to the priority of education. Thank the taxpayers. It's their money. Thank my mom and dad for the values and instilling in us the importance of education. I mention that because I want Principal Vega, Deputy Superintendent, all of the teachers, all of the PTA families to know how much we value you and how much we value you today. We respect the job that you do. We respect the challenges that you have. And we thank you for molding our kids. I'm sure at times you felt underappreciated. Please know, in our old council office and at our Borough Hall, you were always valued, and we tried to get you as many resources as possible. So to the boys and girls, enjoy it. Say goodbye to these cracks and all these broken things. We can give them names and then we say bye to them. Run around, play with your friends, let off some steam, have fun, and make some cool memories. All right? Thank you, everybody.